on the circuit looks or feels like this one. An area known for its peaceful vacation activities, Pocono is a camper's paradise. And it's a good thing because today, this camping world is NASCAR's camping world. Peaceful just flew out the window. Pocono is shaped like a triangle, but we have some triangles of our own. The top three in points are fighting for a championship. But another group of three Cup regulars are in the field today, hoping to put the inaugural Pocono Truck Trophy on their mantle instead. Long Pond, a town tucked into the hills and mountains of northeast PA, is a retreat for some, a honeymoon destination for others, but you will not find any loving glances or relaxation here. This race is an all-out sprint. The setup, presented by Polaris, is in the blocks and ready to go. Hello everyone, I'm Krista Voda and welcome for the very first time to Pocono. What you are about to see is fresh, it's raw, it's unpredictable because it's never happened before. Something else that has never happened before, the way these guys qualified, multiple trucks on the track for the very first time. Elliott Sadler handled it best, he is on the pole. And we actually had to wait till the very end to find out who would be on the pole. Sadler went out last because his truck was fastest in practice, and he bumped Casey Kane from the top spot. This track is big and wide, 2.5 miles long. In fact, last week's track, we would need 3.6 of those to cover this distance. That was ORP, small but mighty. Here's a look back.
Nestled less than 10 miles from the most storied racetrack in the world sits one of racing's true hidden gems, O'Reilly Raceway Park. Race 12 marked the season's midpoint for the Camping World Truck Series. And for those in the title hunt, it was make it or break it time.
2 by 2 by 2, the field out of turn 4.
Great. We're going short track racing from ORP.
Great jump by Timothy Peters. He does take advantage of that high line.
Almirola having a tough time keeping his truck on the bottom of the racetrack.
You gotta be watching what the hell we're doing out there. I can't see them blowers.
Eric made a couple pit stops, so he started from the very back of the pack. He's going to try to work his way underneath.
And as a short track standard, trouble always looms around the corner.
Big crash in turn 1. 87 blew a right front tire or a motor.
Behind the wall goes the 7 of Justin Lofton.
Caution's out, turn 2.
Mario Gonsolin involved in this, as well as Narain Karthikeyan.
It's Eric
Almirola is also involved in it.
Hard right side contact, left side not as fast.
Eric Almirola, of course, the man who's second in championship points, so an especially disappointing turn of events for him.
Get it up on forward stand so we can fix it to load it.
What's the problem with the truck?
We have no idea. I mean, this place is as wide as they come for short tracks. Pick a lane.
When the dust settled, it came down to a battle between the superstar and the defending champ looking for his first win of the year.
There's no stealth riding about that 33 truck. He took over second.
Hornaday going for the win and the lead.
Slide job by Ron Hornaday.
Still there, clear.
On Hornaday like a rocket ship off the end of the backstretch.
You get that 33 truck on a roll, he can get this championship, no doubt.
Got no pressure from behind, no pressure.
The winningest driver in series history, Ron Hornaday, wins again.
Thanks for sticking with me, man. Good truck. Awesome job, Horn. Way to go, bub.
Some incredible battles taking place throughout the top 10 in points. Mike Skinner is breathing down Matt Crafton's neck. Crafton's only 1 point behind Austin Dillon. Timothy Peters and Ron Hornaday locked in fourth. Hornaday able to move up in the standings after that win. But for now, Todd Bodine is the front runner. But there are some guys in the race today who are hoping to bust up the party. Isn't that right, Adam?
Elliott Sadler would be one of those, Krista. He's been impressive here all weekend. First career Truck Series pole earlier today. So how do you back it up in the race?
Well, we got to try to go for the win, and it's been a fun couple of days so far. I have so much fun driving this truck for KHI and Kevin and Delana, and got a good group of guys. And today we brought on GT Vaca with Greg Sachs and his guys, and first time they sponsored a truck, and we were able to put them on the pole. And it's like a 50-lap sprint, so it's going to be racing pretty hard from green to checkered, and I think the race fans will definitely enjoy it.
How does the fact that it's a 50-lap race change your mentality as a driver?
Well, you're really only going to get maybe one pit stop probably to adjust your truck, so you got to make a really good decision between you and your crew chief and make sure y'all hit it, because it's not like a cup race where you have 7 or 8 different chances to hit it and make it good to the end. So hopefully you start the race good, which we've been very consistent on long runs, and hopefully make the right adjustment that we need to pit stop. But it's going to be a tough race. You know, Denny Hamlin's so good at this racetrack, and so is my Cup teammate Casey Kane, and of course Todd Bodine and the rest of the guys running for the points. So should be a fun race for the guys. A lot of drafting going on in practice, so should be interesting.
2 straight Truck Series wins for KHI. Elliott Sadler trying to get him the hat trick today. Ray?
And Adam, it's also 2 straight wins for Casey Kane when he competes in Camping World Trucks. How do you keep a perfect record today? How tough will it be at Pocono?
It'll be tough. The only way to keep it's to win, so we know that. But Kyle Busch has a really good team here. I'm happy to drive it and looking forward to it. It's pretty neat to be back in a truck, be in the series, and we qualified well, so hopefully we can run good throughout the race. It's a good group of guys, so I think we have a good shot.
All right, short race today. Keep an eye on that 18. He's likely to be right there at the front. Krista?
Yeah, Ray, and there's just a lot of hype in the air right now, having these guys in the field. We heard Casey Kane, Elliott Sadler, Denny Hamlin in the mix as well. You know, Sadler's teammate Hornaday finally got that monkey off his back last week, but the Big 8 just sort of moved over to Eric Almirola's truck. Almirola has been struggling ever since a win back in middle June.
Eric Almirola will win for the first time here at Michigan, his 2nd victory of the season.
Great job, buddy! Great job! Woo!
The 51 of Eric Almirola into the wall.
It hurts. It really hurts, but we'll go get him at Gateway.
Out in front of the field, Eric Almirola. Austin Dillon on his outside. They are 1 and 2.
And problems coming off of 2.
Or look at the 51 of Eric Almirola.
Truck looked a whole lot like that at Iowa when we left, and here we are again, tore all to pieces.
Comes in here 2nd in points. This is going to be devastating.
Well, he won in Michigan, but followed it up with a 28th place finish in Iowa, finishing 8th in Gateway, following that up with a 31st at ORP. So if the numbers play out right, Eric Almirola could be in for a very good finish today. No doubt Eric Almirola will be a contender here at Pocono. Again, the trucks have never raced at this track, and that's bringing in all the star power. We heard from Elliott Sadler, Casey Kane. As we mentioned, Denny Hamlin also in this field. Hamlin is a 4-time Pocono winner, so keep a lookout for him as well. Still to come, we hit the links for a good cause right here in the Pocono area. The swings aren't always pretty, but the backdrop is. And we sit down with driver, spotter, and boss, Hornaday, Corelli, and Delana Harvick to get their take on why it took so long to find victory lane. Don't go away. More of the setup for the first time in Pocono still to come. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. And brought to you in part by Camping World. Visit Camping RV Sales for the best value on fifth-wheel trailers, starting at only $249 a month.
Green flag back in the air. Todd Bodine takes the lead away from the 33 of Hornaday. The 30 of Todd Bodine wins 6 times in Texas.
You guys are the baby. Woo! How about it?
Todd Bodine in victory lane. He is Mr. Texas.
He is Mr. Texas, but can he be Mr. Pocono? An absolutely gorgeous day to be here at the racetrack, but if you can't be in the Poconos, you're in the second best place watching it with us here on Speed. Well, in a few weeks, this area will actually celebrate Garlic Festival. Not sure how they feel about an onion, but they may be warming up to the idea, and our onion, Todd Bodine, because he recently on Thursday held his first annual golf tournament here in this area, appropriately named the Onion Slice.
It's our first year to have this tournament for John Hines Rehab Center, and it's going to benefit brain injured and diseased children. They have 800 kids that they treat regularly that have no insurance at all. So this will go towards them to buy them equipment and the services that go with it. So it's a great cause. Anything we can do for our children is very special.
Janet had to put this whole thing together, and she's done such a great job. This is really cool to see the amount of people, the support they've got up here in the Poconos.
It's a lot of fun to get away and come out here and have awesome weather and play a little golf. Get to take Stockman out here and get away from the track. It's a lot of fun.
when you have an event that goes to charity, everybody pulls together, and it doesn't matter what you do or who beats who out here. Of course, we all want to win the tournament, but we leave the racing at the racetrack.
Was a smashing success. 208 golfers participated. Wow, Mike Skinner and Stacy Compton actually took bragging rights, but the kids were the real winners. Over $68,000 was raised. For more information, log on to www.aliveservices.org. And Ray, rumor is you and Todd still have some golf balls in the sand traps.
Yeah, I don't think we want to talk about our game out on the course very much, but it's a great event, Todd, and congratulations on your first annual Onion Slice Open.
Yeah, thanks. It was a huge success, raised a lot of money for a great cause. John Hines Center and the pediatric unit for brain diseased and injured children. They got 800 kids on staff or that they treat that have no insurance, so this will go a long ways to help them. But you know, I can't take any of the credit. My wife Janet did the whole thing. She did 99% of it on her own and did a fantastic job.
Are you going to golf or are you going to drive, or what are you going to do? You're going to drive it to the front today?
Well, I'm going to try to drive it to the front. I mean, we're close. We're six, so we've got a good truck. You know, we elected to not run the second practice, and that probably hurt us qualifying a little bit. We didn't know exactly how far to go, tighten it up to qualify, and it was still a little too free. So we got a good Tundra, and then, you know, we'll stick around and then give him something at the end.
He's good with his driver. I'm not very good with my 3-wood, though, Adam. How about yours?
Average, maybe club number 3 in my bag. We're with Austin Dillon, who's been on a roll of late. 3 or 5 consecutive top 10 finishes. Another great qualifying run here today. But I want to talk about experience. How did the tire test you did here, how can that help you today?
You know, I really think it helped us just getting to know the track. You know, this is similar to a road course because of the time you can pick up with each corner. When you put it all together, you can really get a good lap. And the guys have done a great job bringing a fast truck, so we'll have to go out there and race. I don't know really how it's going to do in a draft, so we really haven't been all tucked up yet. So it's going to handle a little different once we all get together, and we'll have a good race, hopefully.
Another top 5 start for Austin Dillon, Krista.
All right, thanks, Adam. A lot of buzz about the way the field was set. All of the Cup drivers were checking out that qualifying procedure today, and a lot of hype about how this quick race will end, and a lot of energy upstairs. We have a replacement, I guess you'd say, for Mikey. Same last name, though. DW is in the house joining our boys, Rick Allen and Phil Parsons. Hey, guys.
Hello, Krista. I don't think we can ever call DW a replacement. But
gosh, I can't believe she said that.
Replacement. I was thinking of words like eventful and unpredictable, things that we could claim for this visit to Pocono. What do you think?
I think unique. I think everything that's happened so far has been unique. You look at our qualifying procedure, unique. We've never done it before. You look at the shape of the racetrack, a triangle, for heaven's sake. What happened to the fourth corner? You got a unique racetrack, and today this is a very unique event. So I think the key word for the day in this event today is called unique. That's how you catch a rabbit, by the way.
Unique up on them. Yeah, I knew that was coming. But how about qualifying, though? Something unprecedented that we've tried today, and I think it worked out perfectly.
I really do. I think it was extremely exciting. We had the slowest truck go first, the fastest truck go last, and by the way, the fastest truck that went last got the pole. So I think it was a great success. Hopefully we'll see some more of that. But as Darrell was talking about, this whole situation right here is unique. This is a very short race. It's only 50 laps. These guys can go somewhere around 35 laps on fuel. Some of the guys were talking about running 10, 15 laps, get in their window, stop. But Darrell, with this front straightaway that's about 88 car lengths wide and it's so long, and with the way they fan out after they pass the start-finish line, double foul restarts, fresh tires with 10, 15 laps to go may be something to look at.
I think that's what we'll see, Phil. I really do.
You know, we had a lot of excitement during qualifying, and I think it may have been maybe a little more exciting if we would have had Michael on board, but I think he's at a spa. Is that what I've heard, that he was out getting a massage at a spa and filling in for you? Is that true?
I heard that he drove his Ferrari to the spa.
He drove it to the spa.
Or at the spa.
Or at the spa.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if Michael could join us?
I don't know about that, but
you don't think?
Do you think it would be?
I think it'd be great if Michael
What if he was to call us?
Can we try to talk to him?
What if he called us?
How about that?
Michael, are you with us?
Hello? Hello?
How's the massage going?
Come in, I'm at the spa. Are you there?
We've got you. How are you doing?
Hey, y'all got 3 corners. You got 30-some trucks that are going to go crazy when they throw the green. But let me try to explain to you what I'm up against over here. We got 19 turns. It's pouring down rain, and it's almost my turn to go drive.
Oh, man.
Trouble, buddy, trouble.
Oh, man, this is crazy. I sure do miss NASCAR.
Well, we miss you too, friend. We had a great time with qualifying earlier, and hopefully you do well over there in Belgium.
Well, I'm having a great time, and I can't wait to see you guys. Have a great race. DW, when they come down the line, do that thing you do for me.
You got it, brother. I'm on it. Hey, what is the tip to racing in the rain, by the way?
Well, you can't see, and you have to stay offline. And, you know, Darryl, something I've done really well over the years in my career, I've missed a bunch of lines before.
Mikey, thanks a lot for joining us, buddy. Hey, good luck over there.
Good luck, bud.
Call us later when you get back out of the car.
There you go.
Okay, bye. Have fun.
It's now an international broadcast. Let's go back to Krista.
All right, thanks, guys. Yeah, and I worried that Michael might be listening in, so I wasn't quite sure how to introduce Darrell Walter, but we're excited to have DW with us on the broadcast, and best of luck to Michael. So from across the pond to Long Pond, yes, an international broadcast indeed. One driver tries to keep his perfect record intact. He has never lost a race in a truck. Will he make it 3 for 3? We'll get you one step closer next. The setup is presented by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles, now at your local dealer. And brought to you in part by Damp Rid, because the key to mold control is moisture control.
Hornaday into the wall in the backstretch.
Look at the damage to our champion.
Hornaday, the 33 of Hornaday into the wall. Another bad finish.
Ron Hornaday just went behind the wall into the garage area.
Shock came off the left rear for Hornaday.
Got no pressure from behind, no pressure.
Ron Hornaday has been victorious in the Camping World Truck Series.
Thanks for sticking with me, man. Good truck, good truck. Thank you, Ernie. Thank you, Rick. Thanks all you guys.
Not only is this track shaped like a triangle, but they say it's equal distance from here to Philadelphia or New York. That would be an equilateral triangle, by the way. It's a quiet little spot tucked in between 2 major cities, and the traffic jam is about to begin. Welcome back to the setup, presented by Polaris. Well, one thing we will not see happen today, we will not see Ron Hornaday win his first race of the year, because after weeks of scrutiny, he finally made it back to victory lane last week. But why did it take so long, and why has the crew chief carousel been in such rotation? Well, we sat down with Ron, Rick Corelli, and Delana Harvick to find out.
Ron Hornaday will be your 2009 Camping World Truck Series champion.
Our expectations were set high. They're obviously to come and try and repeat what we did from last year, but we knew going into it we were going to have some obstacles we had to overcome.
We lost our crew chief and we lost our truck chief, so I think you go into it knowing that your team is capable, but you have to have a leader of that team.
To replace Rick Wren and replace Danny Stockton, and that's a big goal. I think the biggest thing that we miss, and I'll just be honest with you, is a leader on the floor like a truck chief. I think you have the same people on the thing, but Danny always barked out and told everybody what to do. We haven't had that leader this year.
You don't lose your top 2 level, people on a team and not expect to struggle a little bit. I mean, if I said that we didn't expect that, I'd be lying to you, because we did.
You never have 2 years of the same, so you got to take the good with the bad, but the guys from last year to this year never got their heads down.
You don't come from winning a championship to not being able to win races. I mean, that just doesn't happen. We knew fundamentally the basis was set for a solid team.
People's got to know how you drive to understand what you're saying. They can see it in your eyes, and that's the biggest problem, is just the guy getting to know me, vice versa, me knowing him.
One thing that changed is I used to always spot for Hornaday every week. I'm not saying I'm that magical person up there or whatever, but I understand him, he understands me. We threw so much at him this year with the crew chief changes, with the car chief changes, and me not spotting up there again. I think when I come back and spot, I thought that brought something that helped. He had a familiar voice. Then it went to racetracks that he run well at.
certainly ORP is a place that we circle on our calendar because Ron loves that. He's won nationwide, he's won truck. You know, that was a place that we felt like we could go in, and we did, and I think we did so in dominant fashion.
He just dominated this race here tonight, holding off Kyle Busch, one of the best in the truck series. Ron just put him away late in the going.
If you beat Kyle Busch or you beat Kevin Harvick, you're beating the best out there right now in what you're doing, and he literally ran away from the 18 truck that has Rick Wren as a crew chief, and I think we, as a team, as a group, went there and made a statement that doing everything right, you can get back to where you need to get.
I think Ron was a little down on himself. I think the team was frustrated. But for them to go out, win the way they did, I think they know they can do it.
We got a chance for the championship. In '98, you know, with Dale Earnhardt, I think we went through 5 or 6 crew chiefs that year and still won a championship.
You know, and a couple years ago when Ron won the championship, he was, I think he said 270 points behind Skinner at that time. So, you know, we're down, absolutely, but we're not out.
A lot of racing left, so don't count us out yet.
The team is virtually the same. Ron Hornaday is still the same. He's still the guy that's won 4 championships. And at the end of the day, if I had to put my money on anybody, I'm going to put it on Ron Hornaday.
No question about it, the 33 team was back in championship form last week. 2 consecutive wins for KHI. Can it be 3 today, Ron?
Did you admit that?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think you got a great team and you're a great driver.
Oh, thank you. But the truck's pretty awesome. You see the colors out there? You won't be able to miss me today. All these Morgan outlets, pretty cool to come up here and run. And hopefully, I wish we were qualified a little better, but Elliott helped me out a lot, and I've been overdriving the track. So I learned something, and hopefully we can run real good today.
Have you thought about your strategy today? This is such a short race, only 50 laps.
It's not my strategy. I'm just going to go for whatever we got, and Kevin will make all the calls inside the pit. So we'll see what's going on. We just got to kind of watch everybody and see see how the draft works. It's really like an open concern what this draft's going to do down the front straightaway when we're 3 or 4 wide.
We'll see if Hornaday can be the top banana today. He certainly has the outfit to do it.
That's good indeed. Yeah, you can't miss that truck for sure. It may be a new track for the series, but some of these guys have been here before, and it's not just Sadler, Kane, and Hamlin. In fact, 13 drivers in this field have turned laps in Cup races at Pocono. Will they have an edge, or will it be a young guy? We will wrap things up when the setup on speed returns. It's fast, 50-lap shootout. You have to be here. You can't turn away. You turn away for a second, you will miss something. We'll get you closer to the green when the setup on speed from Pocono for the very first time returns. Very first trip, flatbeds on the big old flat track. It's dirty, it's truck racing on speed. It starts now.
Hidden in the mountains that stretch across northeastern Pennsylvania lies a tricky triangle with 3 turns that leave even the greatest troubled. A 2.5-mile monster that lays down an even playing field. A track that no truck has raced on before. The stars of the Camping World Truck Series face a new challenge, looking to become the first to conquer Pocono Raceway.
A gorgeous day for racing at Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Pocono Mountains 125 on speed. It's the 13th race of the season, but the first time we've ever visited Pocono Raceway. Now, experience has already paid big dividends for guys who have been here in the Cup Series. Elliott Sadler, Casey Kane, and Denny Hamlin will take the top 3 spots on the starting grid. And for more stories on today's race, we go down to Adam Alexander.
And we talk so much about momentum when it comes to racing, Rick, and there's been plenty of that in the 3 camp. Austin Dillon has finished inside the top 10 in 5 consecutive races, but it's actually that experience you alluded to that may help him here today. The truck he is driving, the same one that he brought here in May when his team did a tire test, and it's those added laps that could pay off as he tries for a 6th consecutive top 10 here this afternoon. Ray?
You know, Adam, when we look at the last 3 races in the Camping World Truck Series, there's only 2 trucks that have gotten top 5s in each of those events, and both of them are from Thor Sport Racing, Johnny Sauter and Matt Crafton. But this weekend at Pocono, not a good start for this team. Sauter will roll off 12th today, and Crafton back in 18th. Neither of these drivers very satisfied with their equipment so far. It'll be interesting to see if this team can rally to post a finish similar to the last few weeks.
Yesterday, it was the first time the trucks had been on the racetrack, at least 38 of them trying to get ready for qualifying, which took place earlier today. Our point standings through 12 races. Todd Bodine with a 177-point lead over Eric Almirola. And everyone's looking at Ron Hornaday, wondering if he can make it 5 championships in the Camping World Truck Series and be the first driver to ever do a repeat or back-to-back championship in this series. Well, Ron Hornaday's got his work cut out for him because he's going to have to get by that guy. Elliott Sadler has the pole for the first ever race here at Pocono. Let's keep things going. We go down trackside for today's invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, as you have graced us with this beautiful day here at Pocono, we ask your blessing upon today's inaugural Pocono Mountains 125 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series event, and also the Weiss Markets 125 ARCA REMAX Series racing event. Help us to remember that everything we do is for the greater honor and glory of your name. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father Mike. And now for our national anthem, Clark Lewis.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Clark Lewis. Wonderfully done as always.
Great crowd on hand witnessing history for the Camping World Truck Series. They will make their first ever starts at Pocono Raceway. It's the second track in Pennsylvania that the trucks have visited, Nazareth being the first, but this is the first one that only has 3 turns. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. Visit Camping World RV Sales for the best value on fifth-wheel trailers, starting at only $249 a month. By Toyota. And by Verizon, the network with the most 3G coverage. And welcome back to Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Let's go back trackside to Chris Devoda for our Polaris resetup.
Thanks, Rick. New qualifying procedure baptized today. Multiple trucks on the track at the same time. It was fantastic. Elliott Sadler and Casey Kane are on the front row, but at one time throughout the day, there were 14 different pole sitters. Keep a lookout for Ron Hornaday. He's coming off that first win of the season. Usually he has a tendency to take momentum and run, but if he's gonna run, he better sprint because this thing is only 50 laps. Turn away for a second, you're gonna miss something. It's like an all-star race. Speaking of all-stars, we have Elliott Sadler, Casey Kane, Denny Hamlin, and we have Darrell Waltrip with us today. It's a new track, new qualifying, new faces, 50-lap shootout. Welcome to the Truck Series, Pocono.
you said all-stars, and I was really expecting you to say all of our names, but you stopped at
y'all are given.
Darrell Walsh.
Y'all are here every week.
Rick Allen with you once again, but it's the first time we are at Pocono. Now, a racetrack that obviously there's going to be a lot of questions for these drivers out there. How do you get around for 50 laps, but just 50 laps?
Yeah, it's a short race, but here's the other thing that I think the race is obviously you got to have a great truck, got to have a great driver, guys with experience have got a little bit of an advantage. But let me tell you where the real advantage is: sitting on the pit box. You run this race a little bit like a road course. You got to rely on the spotter. If the spotter sees trouble on the racetrack and he thinks there's going to be a caution, pit. You want to get in the pits, get your work done, and get back out. So if the caution does come out, it's like a road course. You'll end up at the front of the field when they get ready to go back to green. So different strategies. 30, 35 laps on fuel, tires, a lot of unknowns, but that pit strategy, that pit call could make a big difference in the outcome of this race.
And how about this racetrack, Darrell? 3 distinctly different corners. It's really like a road course with all left-hand turns. You would call it a roval, right?
Roval, yes.
But turn 1, extremely fast, probably 185 miles an hour getting down in the corner. Tunnel turn, one of the most difficult turns in all of racing. And then a flat corner and down 3, a lot like Phoenix. A very, very challenging racetrack, Rick.
And then the longest straightaway that they could ever imagine coming right at them. Let's get the engines fired. We go for the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the words you've all been waiting for, they're going to be given by Jeff Chu, Marketing Manager of Chevy Racing.
Drivers of the inaugural Pocono Mountains 125, start your engines!
Fired. All right, 1, 2.
Drivers are all strapped in. They're ready to go. Somebody just apologized to Moose in their truck. We'll find out more about that. Stay with us.
Track on the circuit looks or feels like this one. An area known for its peaceful vacation activities, Pocono is a camper's paradise. And it's a good thing because today, this camping world is NASCAR's camping world. Peaceful just flew out the window. Pocono is shaped like a triangle, but we have some triangles of our own. The top 3 in points are fighting for a championship. But another group of 3 Cup regulars are in the field today, hoping to put the inaugural Pocono Truck Trophy on their mantle instead. Long Pond, a town tucked into the hills and mountains of northeast PA, is a retreat for some, a honeymoon destination for others, but you will not find any loving glances or relaxation here. This race is an all-out sprint. The setup, presented by Polaris, is in the blocks and ready to go. Hello everyone, I'm Krista Voda and welcome for the very first time to Pocono. What you are about to see is fresh, it's raw, it's unpredictable because it's never happened before. Something else that has never happened before, the way these guys qualified, multiple trucks on the track for the very first time. Elliott Sadler handled it best, he is on the pole. And we actually had to wait till the very end to find out who would be on the pole. Sadler went out last because his truck was fastest in practice, and he bumped Casey Kane from the top spot. This track is big and wide, 2.5 miles long. In fact, last week's track, we would need 3.6 of those to cover this distance. That was ORP, small but mighty. Here's a look back.
Nestled less than 10 miles from the most storied racetrack in the world sits one of racing's true hidden gems, O'Reilly Raceway Park. Race 12 marked the season's midpoint for the Camping World Truck Series. And for those in the title hunt, it was make it or break it time.
2 by 2 by 2, the field out of turn 4.
We're going short track racing from ORP.
Great jump by Timothy Peters. He does take advantage of that high line.
Almirola having a tough time keeping his truck on the bottom of the racetrack.
You gotta be watching what the hell we're doing out there. I can't see them blowers.
Eric made a couple pit stops, so he started from the very back of the pack. He's going to try to work his way underneath.
And as a short track standard, trouble always looms around the corner.
Big
crash in turn 1. 87 blew a right front tire or a motor.
Behind the wall goes the 7 of Justin Lofton.
Caution's out, turn 2.
Mario Gonsolin involved in this, as well as Narain Karthikeyan.
It's Eric
Almirola is also involved in it.
Hard right side contact, left side not as bad.
Eric Almirola, of course, the man who's second in championship points, so an especially disappointing turn of events for him.
Get it up on forward stand so we can fix it to load it.
What's the problem with the truck?
We have no idea.
That's the good news. The bad news is, in 2009, we know what happened. 17 thousandths of a cubic inch cost him $200,000.
And that's a really big number. You used the word earlier, unique. We're going to have a unique perspective of this racetrack today. We ride along with Johnny Sauter in that number 13 truck. He'll start 12th today.
We're also going to ride along with James Busher. He's going to be starting from the 11th position in the Wolfpack Reynolds Chevrolet.
And this is Todd Bodine. And this, when you peel an onion back, this is what you get. You get a Todd Bodine.
And we'll also have a great perspective from our pole sitter. Elliott Sadler claimed his first pole today, and he will bring the field to the green flag from that number 1 spot. 2.5 mile racetrack, so it takes them a while to get around under caution pace. So we will take a quick break and come back before the green flag here at Pocono Raceway. Tomorrow, NASCAR Race Day powers into Pocono. Denny Hamlin, who's in this race. Jeff Gordon, Greg Biffle, and Brickyard 400 winner Jamie McMurray will join us. Plus, we'll highlight the ups and downs of the drivers fighting to make the chase. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot, live from Pocono tomorrow, 10 Eastern, only on Speed. And before the green flag flies, let's go back to pit road and Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. The last couple of weeks I've said Ron Hornaday is out of this championship chase in 2010. He vehemently disagrees with me, and last week he broke a 22-race winless streak, winning at ORP. But when it comes to inaugural events, how about Ron Hornaday? 10 different times in his career, he's won when we go to a brand new racetrack. So he's got a lot of motivation to get back in this championship chase. Keep your eye on the Ollie's Bargain Barn Chevrolet Hornaday in 33. Adam?
And one driver he'll be competing with for the victory today, no doubt, will be Denny Hamlin. Hamlin, a Cup Series regular, making his 11th start today in the Camping World Truck Series. But check out his Sprint Cup stats here at Pocono. 9 starts, 4 victories, 7 times he's finished inside the top 10. Don't be surprised at all if driver 15 is in the hunt today. He rolls from the 3rd position. Rick?
Thanks a lot, guys. And one of the interesting things, you have the choice if you win the pole, if you start on the outside or the inside. And it looks as though Elliott Sadler's choosing the outside here, guys.
Good call, I think.
I think it is, too. You got that good momentum going down into 2. But if practice speeds mean anything, if qualifying speeds mean anything, and having a fast truck means anything, guess who I think is going to win this race?
Maybe Elliott Sadler.
Maybe Elliott Sadler. I don't care where he starts.
He's got a good shot at it. DW, how about you bring us to green?
Got it. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's make some history, boys.
Elliott Sadler jumps out in front of Casey Kane and then moves in front of Casey Kane. There's what we were talking about. They're going to spread out as they come down that front stretch.
Denny Hamlin moved to the inside to make it 3 wide. There they are, at least 4 wide. Look at Matt Crafton.
Whoa.
Jason White gets sideways.
He goes.
The 17 of Timothy Peters got into the back quarter panel. Let's see if he keeps it down in the grass and everybody stays straight. Other than Jason White.
Looked like Spaghetti Junction down there, and the caution flag is out.
We told you this was a tricky track, didn't we?
Well, and we also
difficult.
said nobody knows what these things are going to do when they go down into turn 1. 4 wide.
Yeah, and all this traffic. Most of these trucks were out on the racetrack by themselves. Maybe one other truck. They had no idea what was happening.
And that was a situation where Timothy Peters was trying to catch his truck, got into the 23, and spun the 23 of Jason White around. Let's take a look.
You'll see back in here, you see the white truck down underneath the bottom of your screen there. He gets that's Peters in the 17. He just gets real loose and bounces up into the 23 of White, and around he goes.
Yeah, Timothy was really right up against the 23, then pulled away from him when he did. Then he got sideways and had to chase it and got into him again.
Did a nice job. Everybody did right here. All that smoke, you can't see a thing. But fortunately, we were just coming up to speed, so the guys were able to hang on to their trucks pretty good.
There's another view here. You see him get a little bit loose, catch it, makes contact with the left rear quarter panel, that Gunbroker Dodge. Jason does a nice job of nailing that throttle to keep that truck going forward, not allow it to back up into the outside wall.
Donnie Leo really did a nice job in that 21 truck, like sneaking by on the outside.
Jason White on pit road after bringing out the caution after we had gone about a quarter of a mile. We made it to turn number 1. We'll be right back with more from Pocono.
Track on the circuit looks or feels like this one. An area known for its peaceful vacation activities, Pocono is a camper's paradise. And it's a good thing because today, this camping world is NASCAR's camping world. Peaceful just flew out the window. Pocono is shaped like a triangle, but we have some triangles of our own. The top 3 in points are fighting for a championship. But another group of 3 Cup regulars are in the field today, hoping to put the inaugural Pocono Truck Trophy on their mantle instead. Long Pond, a town tucked into the hills and mountains of northeast PA, is a retreat for some, a honeymoon destination for others, but you will not find any loving glances or relaxation here. This race is an all-out sprint. The setup, presented by Polaris, is in the blocks and ready to go. Hello everyone, I'm Krista Voda and welcome for the very first time to Pocono. What you are about to see is fresh, it's raw, it's unpredictable because it's never happened before. Something else that has never happened before, the way these guys qualified, multiple trucks on the track for the very first time. Elliott Sadler handled it best, he is on the pole. And we actually had to wait till the very end to find out who would be on the pole. Sadler went out last because his truck was fastest in practice, and he bumped Casey Kane from the top spot. This track is big and wide, 2.5 miles long. In fact, last week's track, we would need 3.6 of those to cover this distance. That was ORP, small but mighty. Here's a look back.
Nestled less than 10 miles from the most storied racetrack in the world sits one of racing's true hidden gems, O'Reilly Raceway Park. Race 12 marked the season's midpoint for the Camping World Truck Series. And for those in the title hunt, it was make it or break it.
Stripe, it's still Elliott Sadler. He was so good in practice yesterday. He backed it up in qualifying earlier today.
Boy, that 88 truck really made a nice move down this front straightaway. Trying to pick up a couple of spots here, but he's stuck on that bottom, and that's pretty hard to deal with the bumps down there.
Watch that truck go up and down,
bouncing all over the place.
Down Long Pond straightaway. Look at the trees right off of the side. They come at you so fast.
There's James Busher. James has some experience here, I think, in an ARCA Racing Series car.
Boy, they stay in the gas a long time. Phil, did you hear that? It was, I mean, almost all the way into the corner before he lifted. You try that in a Cup car and you'll be over in the trees.
Ricky Carmichael looking to the inside of that 31 of James Busher. A battle for second. Here comes Casey Kane once again.
I believe that's the guy that's going to have that Elliott's going to have to deal with. Obviously 18 and Casey Kane, Rick Wren, that whole crowd, they'll be up there putting some pressure on Elliott before this thing gets too far along.
And Casey Kane has never lost when he started a truck race.
Pretty good record.
He's very good. He started 2 races and won both of them. For today, working by that 30 of Todd Bodine. Double A, what's happening down on pit road?
I've got a question for our drivers upstairs as Todd Bodine makes the move to the inside of Ron Hornaday. When Casey Kane went to the inside of Denny Hamlin down in turn 1, I heard his spotters say, can't tell. How difficult is it for a spotter at a massive racetrack like this?
Yeah, I mean, at best you're looking through binoculars, and that's pretty defined area you're looking at. So, yeah, the spotter's got his work cut out for him here. This is a huge facility, spread out all over the place. Really hard to see over there.
And this front straightaway is straight. You know, some of the other bigger racetracks like Daytona, Talladega have a tri-oval, so they actually go away from you. Here, you're trying to look down there and trying to judge whether somebody has the other driver cleared, and it's really, really difficult to do.
Look how long that straightaway is, and the trucks have now spread out into a single file line around here. How about the 13 of Johnny Sauter? Now, he missed the drivers' meeting, which was held earlier this morning, and so that means he was relegated to the back of the field when he started.
He's made his way up into the 18th position right now. He went down in turn number 1 and ran through the bumps, and his truck bounced up a little bit. That allowed Chris Fontaine, the 84, to get underneath him. Now Timothy Peters, the 17, is trying to get by and does get by the 84 Chris Fontaine.
Yeah, 17's been on pit road, and he's coming back up through the field. Looks like that truck's no damage to it in that initial contact down in turn 1. I think the unknown, so many unknowns about when you haven't raced somewhere. You're not sure what to set a guy up to make a pass. You're not sure what your truck's going to do when you do get along beside of someone. Am I going to be able to stick? Am I going to hit a bump and it's going to bounce me into him? There's just so many things you're going to have to go through these first maybe 10, 15 laps to figure out how your truck's going to react in race conditions on this track.
Ron Hornaday just in front of Eric Almirola in the 51. Hornaday moves down to the inside of the track, trying not to give a draft here at the racetrack.
That's getting a little edgy right there. Ron wants to be careful. He's going to put a crossover move on Eric right here. He's going to try to anyway, but it's like the 51 truck's a little wee bit better.
Almirola seems as though he's got his hands full in that 51 today.
We had that 33 right up behind him, taking a little bit of air off that rear spoiler. He was a little bit free. It looked like coming up off that tunnel turn.
Mike Skinner running a little bit lower in turn number 3. And once again, coming down the long front straightaway, using the draft here at Pocono. The first visit, Elliott Sadler would love to see his name as the first winner in the Camping World Truck Series at Pocono Raceway. We slowed for the first lap, but ever since then, it's been full throttle. Wednesday night Speed Primetime is packed with non-stop action with an all-new Stealth Rider and the new original Intersection. The action begins Wednesday night at 8 Eastern, only on Speed.
Phil, I believe it. I think right now the unknown to me, the question to me is the 2 running as hard as he can go? Is he just keeping Casey Kane in the 18 at bay? But that's going to be the race. When it all comes down to it, those are the 2 guys I think you're going to have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, the last 3 laps, Darrell, Casey Kane has been quicker than Elliott Sadler. Now we can see he's pulled right up to his tailgate here, using that draft to pull up to that 2 truck.
The big question will be, can he pass him? If he can pull up to him, can he get by him?
Well, we know that, these things punch, like we said, a big hole in the air and that big old spoiler on the back. So we know he can suck up to him. But then do you get the arrow push when you try to get around him? But he's working on him right now. Casey's done a really nice job, and he's catching up to him. Looks like Casey's got a little better truck on the long run, Adam.
Darrell, you just hit the nail on the head. He said, I'm loose in turn 1, did Casey Kane, but when I get to the 2, I tighten up. It's that arrow push you just referred to.
Mike Skinner getting around the 7 of Justin Lofton.
And a lot of that is created by this setup that they run it. We saw the little bitty front springs you run. The thing is setting down on bump stops. So when the air starts to come off the other truck in front of you, there's really nothing to keep it from lifting the front of the truck up. Everything is meant to hold the front of the truck down, so when you start getting air from the other truck, turbulence wants to lift the front of the truck up, and that's when you push.
And this is the kind of thing that they did not do a whole lot of simulating in practice, was these trucks running nose to tail like this.
Yeah, really couldn't. It just wasn't enough time, and you're working on other things.
Battle for 11th on the right side of your screen. That's Matt Kraft in the 88, Stacy Compton in the 60 truck.
Sure never would have thought. I thought that 88 truck, his teammate, Bo 13, would have been up there near the front the way these guys have been running all year.
A lot bigger gap on the left side of our screen now between Elliott Sadler and Casey Kane.
Well, what probably happened is all you got to do is get a little bit loose over the tunnel or coming up off turn 1 over there, and that guy that's in front right there, he will gap you a little bit. But you can see how quickly the 18 catches back up.
Yeah, that lap Casey Kane was a couple tenths of a second slower than Elliott Sadler, and we saw the gap as they got to the start-finish line. That's how that transferred into that distance.
A big, long racetrack, 2.5 miles all the way around. Let's take a little time and go through our top 10. We start with Adam Alexander.
13 laps into this race, and we're right back where we started, Rick. The man who has been fast all weekend continues to pace the field. Of course, we're talking about pole sitter Elliott Sadler trying to get Kevin Harvick Incorporated their 3rd consecutive win this weekend, and he's been very quiet on the radio, an indication of how good his race truck is. Right behind him, we told you the situation for Kasey Kahne. A little tight when he gains ground on Elliott Sadler. Other than that, he's very happy with that 18 machine. Of course, Kahne trying to stay undefeated today. 2 Truck Series starts in his career, both ended in victory lane. Ray?
Adam, the truck that Denny Hamlin has today has been run 3 times this season. Stephen Wallace drove it at a number of tracks, and every time he was in it, it was very, very loose. But today, Denny Hamlin a bit tight coming off 3, and throughout practice, Cowboy Starlin, the crew chief, tried to free him up across the weekend. Let's hear about Todd Bodine.
Todd Bodine finds himself inside the top 5. He is tight as he runs on the track. And if you look inside his race truck, above the door there is an apology to Moose. So who is Moose? He's the engine tuner. They ran over his foot, breaking a bone here this weekend. They sent him home. He's receiving treatment. We wish Moose get well wishes very soon, Ray?
When you look at trucks on the track, Adam, the number 51 is the winningest truck in the history of the Camping World Truck Series. That's chassis number 11. It's gone to victory lane 12 different times, twice this season for Eric Almirola. And when they bring it to a certain racetrack, Eric always has confidence in that truck. He says he really likes the way it's rolling the tunnel turn, but still a bit tight off of turn number 3. They'll make an air pressure adjustment on the first stop. Adam?
For Ron Hornaday, he's trying to ride a wave of momentum. That first victory of the year coming last week snapped a 22-race winless streak. Horn started 8th here this afternoon, finds himself riding in the 6th position. The only thing he said about his truck to this point, tight off the corner. And in the 3, right behind him, Austin Dillon. He also has been hot of late. The only thing Austin has said on the radio is, I'm getting beat off of turn 2. Expect an adjustment when they make their first pit stop. Ray?
In 8th position, Adam, is number 5, Mike Skinner. He came into this race just 75 points out of 5th in the points race. However, I think there's a very big question mark as to whether Mike Skinner will be racing next weekend. The 5 truck does not have a motor lined up for next week, and I talked to Mike Skinner before the race, and he had that look on his eye where he just didn't know for sure if this is going to come around. That would be one of the biggest tragedies in this series if Mike Skinner's not racing, but I think next week is a big question mark for the 5 team. Let's look at the number 7, which is Justin Lofton, right behind Skinner. He has moved up to 9th position right now. When he was on the radio just a little bit ago talking to his crew chief, Mark Redd, and Redd said, put your right side tires on that patch after you come off the tunnel turn. That'll help free you up a little bit. The number 7, Justin Lofton, talking about being tight on the racetrack. Number 31 is James Busher. That'll round out our top 10 drop back. Throughout the course of this weekend, Busher has really liked the way his truck entered into turn number 1. But as Darrell and Phil have told us a number of times, this track is such a compromise. He's great through 1, okay through the tunnel, but just cannot get off turn number 3. So far today, that's pretty much been the theme on my end of pit road.
And then, you know, guys, we were talking about aerodynamics and push and all that. But one of the things that we noticed, we talk about when we watch the Cup cars, is how they crab them out, how the back of the car is kicked out to the right to get that extra downforce. Well, if you notice this truck coming down into the corner, as you look down the side of the 5 truck of Mike Skinner, you see that right rear corner kicked out, and you can see the spoiler. They're allowed to do that with the body on the trucks. And that's the way they used to do it on the cars. But when they came with the COT and the crab that they put over the top of the car, the body had to stay symmetrical. You couldn't do all that moving around. But they're still allowing them to do it in the trucks, and that's how you create additional downforces to kick that right rear corner out, get that big old spoiler out there where it's seeing a lot of air getting into the corner. Makes it a lot easier to drive.
See, Justin Lofton's finishes the last 3 races, nothing but bad luck for this team. Had that great 3rd place finish at Dover and has run extremely well. But he's had a couple engine failures, ran out of fuel one time, which was due to an ignition problem to keep him from getting the good finishes he deserved. Kasey Kahne now has run up to the back of that 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, looks like he can catch him. We've seen that a couple of times already, that the thing is going to be. And, man, Elliott's already playing like it's the last lap. He must be practicing.
Elliott looks like a dog that somebody's climbed onto his tail and is trying to get him off. But Elliott moving all over the racetrack, and Casey Kane following everywhere he goes.
But you see right there how Elliott gets through the tunnel turn so much better than Casey does in the 18. That's where he really gaps him.
We've already completed 18 laps now, so if the caution were to come out now, these guys would be in their window to make it the rest of the way. Will anybody try to gamble and stop on the green to get that track position if the caution comes out, Darrell?
I don't think so, Phil. I think this is such a short race, it may not be worth it.
Elliott Sadler out in front of Casey Kane. We've completed 18 to the 50 laps, and it's been all Elliott Sadler up to now. Be the biggest racing fan you can be with Verizon Championship Racing at the track and on your phone. From nationwide and IndyCar driver meet and greets to exclusive peeks inside the Penske garage right on your VCast phone. We're your hard card to chart to racing nirvana. Only from the network with the most 3G coverage, Verizon.
I feel that tunnel turn is really working good for the two truck of Elliott Sadler. Look what a gap he puts on Casey Kane in the 18 when they go across the tunnel turn.
That whole entire gap right there came from that tunnel turn.
One turn.
It looked like Elliott was 5 miles an hour faster through that turn.
Adam Alexander, what's the 2 team talking about?
Well, Darrell and Phil both agree that the 2 truck is better in the tunnel turn than Casey Kane, and that's the difference, as you see Butch Hilton, his crew chief, left of your screen. So, Darrell and Phil, what do you think the driver's complaining about right now? The tunnel turn. He said, I'm a little free over there, and they've already talked about making an air pressure adjustment to make him even better. Perhaps that is where this race will be decided today.
Adam, I think you need to go tell him not to make that adjustment. What do you think, Darrell?
Well, I tell you one thing. Right now, if I'm in the, got a lead change here. Here we go.
And that was off the tunnel turn where Elliott has been so good. He must have got a little bit looser down there.
He convinced himself that he was loose there because he wasn't up until then.
Casey Kane takes over the top spot as they come out of turn number 3. This will be the first lap that he has led at Pocono in a truck. Elliott Sadler second now.
Now that snaking down the front straightaway like that is something that Neil Bonnet did years and years ago. And everybody was going nuts because you can't do that. What's he thinking? What's he doing? Well, he's trying to break the draft or stir up the air so the guy behind him can't get up to him.
It's a good battle right there. There's Austin Dillon, right side of your screen. Ron Hornaday. That's a battle for the 6th position. But we wondered what happened to Elliott Sadler to lose that lead. We know how good he's been through the tunnel turn. Watch this now. He's going to run up on the 48 truck right there. Tim Bainey Jr. slowed him down, exiting the corner.
Yeah,
and that gave Casey the momentum.
There you go.
So Elliott Sadler loses the position to Casey Kane. Now will Casey Kane pull away, or can Elliott Sadler stay right with him?
There's another look at it. Elliott was just a little late getting back to the throttle as he drove around Tim Bainey. That momentum cost him that spot right there.
That is the key word, momentum. When you can't get back to the throttle and the other guy does, you're going to pass him like he did right there.
At the stripe, they go across. The difference, just over 0.4 of a second. So Kane just a bit faster than Elliott Sadler.
By the way, that's Denny Hamlin in third, right about 3 truck lengths behind Elliott Sadler right there.
You know what Denny Hamlin's doing? He's lurking.
Lurking?
He's lurking.
He's something to do that here, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He knows a lot about this racetrack, I've been told.
Denny Hamlin with quite a bit of success here. He has 4 wins in the Cup Series.
He could just be back there singing a Sunshine song right now. Just watch it.
Adam Alexander.
Rick, prior to that last commercial break, we heard Phil talking about strategies that will play out and when will these drivers come to pit road. We just heard Eric Phillips, crew chief for leader Casey Kane, say 10 laps we will be pitting. So that would put him in somewhere just past lap 30. We'll have to wait and see what everyone else is thinking in that regard.
And then now, I mean, this is the longest that anybody's been on the racetrack under green conditions like this. So tires and all those things that we were wondering about are starting to play out. Who's got the best truck on the long run?
Great battle for 6th and 7th on the left of your screen. Hornaday on the outside, Austin Dillon on the inside. I think the other big question we've got to think about is this is a long way around this racetrack. Could you run out of fuel if you don't know exactly how far you can go?
All I can tell you is you better not.
Yeah, you won't make it back around.
You can't make it back.
Exactly, and is that a big enough? Would you gamble if you're Casey Kane if you're not quite sure how many laps you can go?
The pit window is 30 to 35. You're going to pit early on your first stop, on this one stop, because of that very reason. If it was later in the race, you had been in the pits a couple of times and you could calculate your mileage, maybe you could take a chance, but not now.
We're on lap 24.
We're coming up on halfway.
And we've heard somebody say, well, 10 laps. That would be 34 or 33 in that lane.
I think they'll be in around 32.
That seems like it would be a gamble.
You got to take it. You can't take a chance right now.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, for Denny Hamlin, he's going to go to lap 35. They don't want to take a chance on coming too early and then maybe getting that yellow. But the reason they were able to extend that just a little bit was that very first caution that we got. So they feel confident with those few caution laps that they can make it on my end down here to lap 35.
Listen, Ray, coming in late is not – coming in early is the hot tip. And then if you get the caution, as we said in the opening, you're in the catbird seat. Waiting till the very last minute to pit, really, other than having better tires than the other guys at the end of the race, there's still a big gamble if you stay out too long.
And if you wait till 35, you've only got 15 laps to go.
That's it.
I mean, this is a 50-lap race. It is going fast. We're at the halfway point. We're on lap 25 of 50.
And by the way, we're halfway through the season right now, too.
Officially halfway through the season. We have completed
this would be
12 and a half races.
Yeah, this would be halfway of this race, and that race would end, but we're not going to end the season because it's halfway.
No, we won't. Casey Kane out in front. Can he make it 3 in a row? This is his third start in the Camping World Truck Series. He has 2 wins in his other 2, looking to make it a perfect career. Coverage of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Royal Purple, performance oil that outperforms, and by Damp Rid, because the key to mold control is moisture control. Control to both with Damp Rid. We're under our second caution of the day, and this time it was Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the number 6 that brought this caution out. He got into the wall in turn number 3.
Yep, and as they say, this changes everything.
All the strategy now goes out the window.
Yeah, now we're going to all come in at the same time. Everybody's going to get tires. We'll go back to racing again.
And then we may be far enough into this race now, Daryl. We'll probably restart with about 20 laps to go. If they get another caution with 10 to go, I don't know if tires are going to be worth enough to come back and give up the track position.
Well, yes and no. The lap times have fallen off to 58.7. That's a couple of seconds off of what they qualified.
And away went the right front tire of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Here you see him into the wall.
Yep, safer barrier there, caught him.
Thank goodness for those safer barriers.
I don't know, Phil. Tires would be worth a whole lot. It would just depend. It's those guys down there will have to make that decision.
How important is track position versus the 4 fresh tires? Our Aaron's lucky dog goes to Chase Mattioli.
The thing about 4 fresh tires, though, on this big, wide racetrack, man, you can go anywhere you want to. So if you got grip and the other guy doesn't, you can pass him on the outside. You can pass him down these long straightaways. This is not a little tight half mile like we were on a couple of weeks ago.
Because of the Aaron's lucky dog, we will have 24 trucks on the lead lap. So we'll have 12 rows of trucks that are on the lead lap as the field makes their way onto pit road. Ray Dunlap.
Denny Hamlin was complaining that he doesn't think he's going to be able to pass, so Cowboy Starlin says we're going to make some adjustments. Half a pound air pressure into the right rear and 2 rounds of wedge out of the left rear. They were going to go just with 1 round, but these are such soft springs now, it'll be a 2 rounds. Let's go to Adam.
Middle of your screen, Elliott Sadler is in. Dominated the early portion of this race, but the handle not perfect. Despite that, he said, don't make any big changes. I don't want to give it away. Top of your screen, Casey Kane in the 18 truck. He said his truck was very good out front. A very solid pit stop. Everybody getting 4 tires here, and it looks like Kane going to be the quickest off of pit road.
See, Talbot on gains a spot. Austin Dillon gains a couple spots. Denny Hamlin, the big loser, losing 3 spots at his pit stop.
So the lead lap trucks coming off of pit road after their first stop here at Pocono. We'll be back for the green flag.
It's Camping World's destination recreation.
Camping World carries new and pre-owned toy haulers both in travel trailer and in 5th wheel models. Check out this 2010 Keystone Raptor. It's got plenty of room for sleeping, and you'll also enjoy all the comforts of a kitchen and a bathroom. Okay, so you've got your master bedroom up front, then your dining room and kitchen, and then there's an extra living room back here. And this living room has a nice TV and a fireplace. But while you're traveling down the road, this space is actually to hold your toys. So whether you've got a golf cart or canoes, an ATV or a jet ski, it'll all fit right here. You can tie it down to transport it. And when you get to your destination, you drop down the back door and the toys go right out.
Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. More prizes, more chances to win. To enter and see the complete prize descriptions and official rules, visit campingworld.com/racing.
Look at all those campers.
This infield fits a few campers.
Oh,
now,
it
doesn't
does. That's amazing.
A lot of campers probably visited Camping World.
Happy campers.
Happy campers. Watching the trucks make their way around Pocono Raceway. We'll be back for the green flag. And welcome back to the Pocono Mountains 125, a sprint race for the Camping World Truck Series from Pocono Raceway. Field just going across the stripe, and they let them know one to go.
Okay, let's see if we can talk to Elliott Sadler, our pole sitter. Hey, Elliott Sadler, Phil Parsons up in the speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, sure do, Phil. How are you?
Good, buddy. Looks like you got a great truck there. Looks like you had a little bit of trouble through the tunnel turn there with a lap truck, slowed your momentum. That allowed Casey to get by.
Yeah, we got held up a little bit, but I'm very happy with this truck. Everybody here at KHI has given me a great GT Vodka truck, and you know, we knew Casey was going to be tough, and Denny and the rest of the guys, but we got us a little shootout here to the end. I think track position is very important, so see if we can go get them here on the start.
How is it running these trucks here at this big racetrack, Elliott?
Tell you what, you can really be aggressive with them. I mean, you can drive it hard, and especially through the tunnel turn. It's been a lot of fun. Proud to see all the fans that showed up here today at Pocono to come out and support us. So definitely a cool race. 50 laps. It's like a sprint race, like how we all grew up racing on Saturday night. So we'll see if we can go out here and get one.
All right, Elliott. Now, you know Casey Kane is perfect, 2 for 2. You're looking for your first one in the Truck Series. Can you do something about Casey Kane making it 3 for 3?
Yeah, I told him that I thought that was a pretty cool record, but if anybody had to break it, I hope I'm the one.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
All right, thanks, guys.
Well, race fans, Sunoco's free fuel 5000's back. Just get your Sunoco decal, put it on your car, get spotted, and win. We've got spotters visiting every participating Sunoco, and if we see you with it while you're filling up, you'll win one of thousands of instant prizes and have a shot at the grand prize, 5,000 gallons of Sunoco fuel. For more information, go to GoSunoco.com.
Well, we know what happened on the initial start when we all went off into turn 1.
And the restart, they got a little crazy going into turn number 1. So can we try it one more time?
I think that, you know, intensity is definitely going to pick up.
Green flag back in the air. Casey Kane on the outside. And now here comes Elliott Sadler on the inside, battling back. They're side by side as they get to turn number 1.
And there you go, boy. That's so typical Pocono right there. 2, 3, 4 wide, scrambling around. Everybody looking for space to race.
Elliott's hanging tough on the bottom, trying to pull up even with Casey. He's not able to do it. Has to pull in behind him. Remember how good Elliott's been through the tunnel turn.
We'll see if it works.
I think that 18 truck, though, they saw what they had a target. It was a 2 truck. They saw how good he was. I'm sure they've made some pretty significant adjustments to the 18 to help him.
How about the big move by Todd Bodine in the 30, already up to 3rd, and he looks like he's battling that 2 for that 2nd spot.
Denny Hamlin pulls to the inside of Todd Bodine in that battle for the 3rd position. Denny restarted 6th, lost some spots on pit road, has already gained them back.
Well, he's going to put a slide job on Todrick. He didn't quite get in there.
Really close for Denny Hamlin. He got so close that Todd Bodine decided, I'm going to go back by you on the outside.
Yeah, well, he needed to get up in front of Todd right there, and when he didn't, you see it cost him a couple of spots.
Making their way back through turn number 1.
One thing about the 15, I noticed he can run the bottom pretty good in turn 1. But right here, the 15 needed to be able to squeeze in right here, and he would have caught the draft of the guys in front of him, but they made a little wee bit of contact.
He wanted to be clear. He just wasn't quite there.
He wasn't quite there.
There's the distance between 1 and 2. Casey Kane in the 18, Elliott Sadler in the 2.
And it appears, like so many times on these big speedways, clean air out front seems to be the big beneficiary.
Eric Almirola trying to make his way by the 3, Boston Dillon. Austin's following that 5 truck of Mike Skinner.
Snaking them at Pocono.
Casey Kane out in front, not trying to give the 2 of Elliott Sadler a draft at all, but they're all falling right behind him.
Shake, 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 steak and bake.
Elliott's able to hang right with Casey Kane. Todd Bodine's looking awfully strong, too.
Boy, he's gotten himself into the picture.
While Casey Kane and Elliott Sadler are battling up front for the lead, here comes Todd Bodine. How about the move by Elliott Sadler? Takes the top spot back.
All clear. All clear. Elliott's truck is definitely, I think, better on these shorter runs.
And here comes Bodine looking to take away the second spot in the tunnel turn.
Casey Kane saying, where did he come from?
Casey wiggling a little bit up off that corner is going to allow Todd to get underneath him. Todd's going to have to go down to the bottom. Somewhat. Maybe he's not going to the bottom.
Todd likes that line, so he holds on to it. How about this? 2 and 3 wide behind him. Jason White, the 60 of Stacy Compton. We're hearing NASCAR is looking on the short chute. That's between 2 and 3. They're hearing that there might be debris on the racetrack, so their officials are looking.
Watch that 15 truck of Denny Hamlin. Boy, all of a sudden he's shot in here. He lost quite a bit of, three spots on that pit stop, but he's getting them back in a hurry.
Got a little bit loose down there in the bottom, and the bumps. Look at Mike Skinner all the way up to the top.
NASCAR said track is clear in the short chute.
Don't you love
Look at the run here.
Don't you love this, though? I mean, gets down the end of the race. Just everybody starts racing so much harder.
Austin Dillon in that number 3 Bass Tracker Chevrolet had a great run on Denny Hamlin, wasn't able to get by. Now Casey Kane will drop back to the 3rd spot.
Crossover, he's going to try to get him back here as he goes into 3.
Casey's going all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Caution light is out.
Caution has come out. That was actually a battle for 4th because Todd Bodine was up in 2nd. Norm Benning
looks
slow
like
on the
Norm might
racetrack.
have a problem. I see a little smoke out the right side.
So debris on the racetrack slows us down for the 3rd time.
We're going to have yet another restart.
Now with 15 laps to go, do you try to take advantage of tires?
They only have about 3 or 4 green flag laps on the tires. I think no advantage here, Darrell.
No, we've already seen. We talked about the clean air and being out front, track position. It's not going to be worth it.
Free pass goes to Joseph Aramendia.
That'll give us 26 trucks on the lead lap.
Yeah, see, if you came down pit road and you're one of the few that did, you'd be so far back you don't have enough time to get back up front.
If you're towards the end of the lead lap trucks and you need an adjustment, it's a good time to come in because you don't have that much to lose. But any one of these trucks running up in the top 5, 7, 8, 10 positions, I don't think it's a good move right now.
No, sir.
Aaron's lucky dog went to Joe Aramendia. There the officials were grabbing the debris. You see a little bit. It looks like
I think that's off of Norm's car. Maybe he like cut a tire down maybe, and he shredded a little bit of debris around the racetrack.
Beautiful day in the Pocono Mountains for the Pocono Mountains 125 and the Camping World Truck Series first visit to Pocono Raceway. Who will be the first winner in the trucks at this racetrack? You got to stick around. Elliott Sadler's been strong, but Bodine's right behind him. The Duplicolor Bed Armor What's in Your Bed promotion is launched and continues until August 31st, 2010. Entry is open to legal residents of the United States and who are 18 years of age or older. Entry requires submission of an image and description of your truck in use in one of 3 categories. Limit 1 entry per person, household, or street address per category. Odds of winning depend on the number of entries on the website. To enter and for official rules, visit bedarmor.com. Void where prohibited. Welcome back. A few trucks decided to come on to pit road under this most recent caution, and we go to pit road and Ray Dunlap.
Well, just wanted to update David Starr. He decided to come in and put 4 fresh tires on. His truck was so tight off each of the corners that he said he just couldn't drive it. So they made an air pressure adjustment on the right sides and put 4 tires on this number 81 for Starr.
He's one of the few lead lap trucks. Donnie Leah was the other one that came in. There's Denny Hamlin right now being shown in the 3rd position.
Liking the way that truck looks. Boy, he's sitting right there in pretty good shape. Lost a couple of spots there in the pits, but he's gotten them back and could be good.
He's such a strong racer at this racetrack, but he's yet to get a win in the Camping World Truck Series. And we've got 20 drivers that have won in all 3 series. Denny Hamlin is one that's just missing a truck race.
Let's see if we can maybe chat with our 2nd place truck right now. Todd Bodine, Phil Parsons in the speed booth. You have a copy?
I got you, Philzy.
What do you think now? That truck looks better and better. You're able to get up to the 2nd spot. You've got that 2 truck that has been fast all weekend in front of you. You have something for him?
Well, I hope so. This Thunder's been good all weekend also. You know, we skipped the 2nd practice. We thought we had a good truck, and we do. I was a little bit tight off of 1, and Junior made a little adjustment. See what we got here. I think the top 4 are about the same speed. It's pretty much tit for tat every lap, but we'll give him a run for it for sure. I love Pocono, and you know we're trying to get us a sponsor on this Germain Toyota, so got to stay up front, get the TV time.
Todd, how huge is that draft on the straightaways here, these long straightaways with these trucks?
Well, I'm a little surprised. It's not what I thought it was going to be. If you get a little bit of a run on somebody, you can draft up on them. It's really not a lot different than the cars. I thought it was going to be bigger, but it's not. So, you know, you just gotta outhandle them here.
All right, buddy, finish this thing off. We just have about 14 laps to go, and wave at Moose before we go. Good luck, buddy.
Moose, he's back home with a broken foot.
Yeah, if you get to victory lane, try not to run over any of your other crew members' feet.
I think every driver should have a little sound like that in their truck. You know, apologize to a driver you maybe had a little run into the week before or whatever.
Yeah. Well, this Thursday, speed is your action destination. First at 8, Tempers Flare on the all-new Pinks All Out from Maple Grove. Then at 10, on an all-new Battle of the Supercars presented by Michelin, the Corvette ZR1 challenges the Viper SRT1 for the ultimate American supercar. It all begins Thursday night at 8 Eastern on Speed. Just 14 laps to go. When they come to the stripe, it'll be 13.
People complain a little bit, you know, imagine that, about the race has been a little long here. Wonder how they're going to like today.
Nobody complains about the truck races.
Not a time.
Not a one.
Not a one.
It is intense from the time they drop the green flag until we see the checkered flag, and the intensity level is going up now. Who will be the first winner at Pocono? Elliott Sadler, Todd Bodine are about to figure out who will be the first to turn number 1. Green flag back in the air.
Well, Todd's staying right there with Elliott, pretty good on this restart. He's going to get a little help from behind there from Denny Hamlin, but also on the outside there, Casey Kane pushing the 2 truck down into turn 1.
30 has a bit of an advantage on the bottom. He's going to move up the racetrack. Will Denny make it 3 wide? Look at Todd Bodine go.
He's out there and he's in the front. And, you know, being kind of a local guy, he lives up here from this area. Todd Bodine would love to be the first winner of the race here at Pocono.
Todd Bodine not far from here in Chemung, New York, his hometown, but Todd Bodine out in front at Pocono. Now a battle for second.
And here comes Hamlin, and he's going to get by the 2 truck.
Denny Hamlin goes by Elliott Sadler. Sadler drops back to 3rd. 4th is Austin Dillon. 5th is Casey Kane.
You've been saying keep an eye on that 15 truck of Denny Hamlin, Darrell.
Well, I just keep an eye on Denny Hamlin. I mean, I just know how good he is here, and you know, that all transfers over to this truck just as easy as it does to a car.
Denny Hamlin, one of the few that have been going down lower on the racetrack. Elliott Sadler stayed up a little higher. That is in turn number 3. Now we see him 2, 3, and 4 wide as they get ready for turn number 1.
Ricky Carmichael, that monster Chevrolet, goes all the way to the bottom. See where they land when they get down to 1 here.
Got to have some room to slide up when you're on the bottom there. That's the only problem. Hit those bumps. Thing bounces around a little bit.
Side by side, the 88 of Matt Crafton currently scored 10th. Timothy Peters 11th. Lofton is 12th. But look at this, 2 and 3 wide as they get ready for the tunnel turn.
You don't go across there 3 wide, I promise you.
2 wide's a challenge, isn't it, Darrell?
You got that right.
Out in front, it's still Todd Bodine trying to hold off the 15 of Denny Hamlin. Hamlin with a run. Here he comes on the bottom. Oh, it gets a little loose on him. He's trying to hang on to it and hang on to second.
Slid right up in front of Elliott there. The thing about the Cup drivers, they will kind of help each other a little bit because they're not racing for points so much as they're racing for glory. But they don't want to wreck one of your buddies in this race.
Todd Bodine, again, that snake action down the front stretch, trying to get any advantage away from the guys behind him.
I'm going to tell you, Todd's going to have his hands full with Denny Hamlin and Elliott Sadler. Those trucks are so good right now. There's a battle between teammates. Justin Lofton the 7, Timothy Peters in the 17. That's a battle for the 10th position right there.
Yeah, these 3 guys right here have separated themselves quite a bit from Casey Kane.
There's the lead. Denny Hamlin has it from Todd Bodine.
That doesn't surprise me one bit. And I don't think it probably surprised Todd Bodine very much either.
It'll be 10 laps to go when he gets back to the stripe. 10 laps for Denny Hamlin to stay out front.
And I don't know what happened to the 18 here, but all of a sudden he's just kind of falling off the pace, although he looks like he might be able to suck Ian Dillon back up here.
Yeah, just got back by the 3 of Austin Dillon to take over the 4th position. Now Elliott Sadler emerges in the 2nd spot with Todd Bodine all over the back of him.
Man, they're bump drafting down the front, and look what it does.
I think Elliott said, no, thank you. I don't need that help. Trying to move out of the way of the 30, and the 30, what a run he has. Battling the 15 again for the top spot, but they're side by side for second behind him.
And Casey Kane in the 18 is loving this.
Watch now, look at him back. Look at the run he's going to get here with these 2 trucks running side by side.
Casey Kane all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll try to take second away from both Elliott Sadler and Todd Bodine.
He should have the advantage getting into the tunnel, and he does. And here comes little Dillon back there.
Oh, he gets into the 30. The 30 is sideways. Can he save it? Into the grass he goes, and the caution.
Hold the brake, coming at you.
Caution's not out yet.
We see the yellow on the top of the screen. It is out.
Yellow's out here. Yellow's out. You're going to have to come to you with damage.
The caution came out. Todd Bodine was on the outside. Austin Dillon forcing the issue, got inside of the 30 and made contact.
Austin wanted to follow the 18 through, and the 30 wasn't going to have any part. It wasn't going to hear to that. Made a little contact.
I don't think we have any flats.
As strong as that 30 was on the restart, was able to get out front.
Check out the Valence, though.
How about the run some of these guys are getting on Long Pond straightaway?
Yeah. Let's take a look at this, Rick, and see what happened here. There they are coming off of turn 1 right here. This is the start-finish line, I mean.
Yeah, this is the lap before when they get this. This is Todd really getting into the back of the 2 truck of Elliott Sadler, pushing him, bump drafting him all the way down here to catch up with Denny Hamlin in the 15. I think Elliott said, I don't like that. Get off my bumper. And he gave Todd the outside.
When they come off this corner side by side, though,
this is what
18 of Casey Kane is going to get such an incredible run here. These trucks, as you talk about, punch such a big hole in the air. Look at that draft suck him up there, Darrell.
Now, he tried this same move here in the spring race in the Cup car, and he got run off the racetrack, caused a big wreck. But today he's going to make it. But here comes Dillon.
Watch Austin now.
Now, he thinks he's going to try to follow through. And Todd and he just made a little contact.
Well, they were side by side at one time. It looked like Austin realized that Todd may be trying to come down. He tried to get out of the throttle to give Todd room, and unfortunately just clipped him.
The world's greatest drivers enter that turn and make that same mistake. So it doesn't have anything to do with being a rookie, I can tell you.
See, Austin is up about to the door, Todd.
And he got his left sides off. He hit the curb, too, and it shot him up just a little wee bit. But he was being squeezed down by the 30, so I don't know. That's just that's the nature of that corner.
It looks like Todd doesn't have any damage. I watched the splitter, and it looks like he did not have any damage to the splitter. We already heard him say on the radio they didn't think he had any flat tires. There's another view of this run that Casey Kane gets now. He's able to clear these 2 trucks when they get to the tunnel.
Boy, and if you're Casey Kane, you're drawing up in the seat. You're saying, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? I cleared him.
And Austin knows that the 30 truck is on the outside. I don't think he had any idea that Todd was going to try to get back in behind and pull down to the inside.
Yep, Todd Bodine looked like he wanted to get in behind Elliott Sadler after they had gone through that turn.
Yeah, right now Todd is probably just a little wee bit frustrated that the 18 is going to get this run down into the corner here.
See, when Austin makes that run there,
yeah,
the 30s is on the outside of the 2.
Way on the outside.
Let's go to Adam Alexander.
And the 30 of Todd Bodine did come down pit road. They would have come earlier, but the pit lane was not open immediately after the caution was thrown. He will get 4 tires here. And the thing you have to talk about with Bodine leading this race with 10 or so laps to go, now the point leader going to have to rally late. It's going to be a tough chore for driver number 30.
Well, he's 177 points ahead of second place. If you're going to make a run at him, he's got to lose some points, and he's got to lose a lot of points, and that may just happen today.
And right now he's still on the lead lap. We have scored on our monitor here 26 on the lead lap. We've got Aaron's giving Brett Butler a lap back. So
how appropriate is that?
Absolutely. They give a lot of laps away. It's incredible.
That will make it 27 trucks on the lead lap. Now Todd Bodine, obviously coming onto pit road, he will have a very formidable challenge in front of him to try to get back up to the front. Even after leading laps here at Pocono, our point leader has problems, gets turned around, and now the battle to get a good points finish here at Pocono for Todd Bodine. Looking for the latest stats and results from the track? Stay informed and make your best fantasy picks for Speed Fantasy Racing using Speed's comprehensive NASCAR stats for the latest practice and qualifying reports, race results, and driver standings. Get more at the NASCAR section of Speed.com. Todd Bodine went through the grass just moments ago to bring out our 4th caution of the day.
See the 18 slip by on the inside over the tunnel. I told you can't run across here, barely too wide, and I think the 2 truck really shaded the 30 being on the outside, and when Austin got there, the 30 came down. I just don't think he was expecting that.
Couldn't that be a spotter issue as well? I mean, that's a long ways away from us and from the spotters.
Well, look where Todd was on the outside of the 2 truck here, and then look when he started to try to get behind the 2 truck to follow him through the tunnel turn. The 3 truck was already there.
And the other thing is, I think that the 3 got on the curb a little bit and kind of shook him out into Todd as well. So enough blame there to go around.
Double file restart. 6 laps of racing to go. Green flag in the air. Denny Hamlin, Casey Kane side by side as they cross the stripe.
Well, they're jockeying for position as they head off into turn 1 here. That 18 truck got a mighty good run here. He's getting a lot of help, and something's wrong with the 15.
Casey Kane leading, and here comes Austin Dillon. He's to the inside for second, trying to take it away. Denny Hamlin up into the wall. Austin Dillon got into the inside of him, and Hamlin goes into the wall in turn 1.
Look at him, 4 and 5 wide now.
Through the Long Pond straightaway, jockeying for position. How about the 51 of Eric Almirola being in the right place at the right time? He's up to 3rd now.
How about all those trucks 3 wide going through the tunnel turn?
They went through there very slow. That's all I can tell you.
3 wide now as they get ready to go into turn 3.
Remember that 81 on the inside? David Starr has a little bit fresher tires than some of these guys do.
I think that's obviously going to be an advantage for him.
One of they on the outside. They battle for position.
Trouble!
Oh, turns around. That's the 21 of Donnie Leah.
Big damage on that white truck back there. Truck's going down pit road. That's Hamlin.
Hamlin goes down pit road.
That was a 64 of Chase Mattioli that made contact with Donnie Leah.
Big time. I mean, both trucks pretty torn up.
5th caution of the day.
Man, it never fails. You get down inside of 10 laps in any of these races, truck, nationwide, cup.
Look at
a lot of carnage.
Look at the damage on Denny Hamlin's 15
Oh yeah,
truck.
he hit the wall hard over there off turn 1.
Let's see what happened to Austin Dillon.
I never was real sure what caused this.
Austin just went to the outside here. Did he get loose and chase it up the hill?
Oh no.
Or did they just get together a little bit?
I think they just made contact, and the truck on the inside, the 3 truck, got loose and got into Hamlin.
Tough break for Denny Hamlin. Had such a great truck, ran up in the top 3 or 4 positions this entire race. See a little bit of damage to the right side of Austin Dillon's truck. He's going to running beside of Ron Hornaday right now.
See the 21 on pit road now. That's Donnie Leah. Take a look. This is turn 3. Leah gets sideways.
He gets sideways. Look at Todd Bodine just barely get by. Chase Mattioli with absolutely nowhere to go makes pretty significant contact.
Yeah, Leah came down right in front of Chase Mattioli in the 64 and just nailed him.
What a huge dodge that was for Todd Bodine, our point leader. Watch Todd now. That was him going right by the 21.
The good for Todd Bodine, these late cautions, you know, he's got 4 tires, and we've already seen what that did for David Starr in 81. Don't count old Todd out.
Todd right now is being shown in the 17th position.
Big hit there. Chase Mattioli getting into the side of Donnie Leah.
But the other thing is, boys, we're running out of laps. We're on lap 46 here.
Right along with Todd Bodine.
See that 21, 2 trucks ahead of him.
Yep. Woo. Best news a driver can hear. Caution's out, it's behind you.
Yeah. And it was barely behind him.
Yeah.
Here it is real time. Watch that 21 here. Right side of your screen. Todd just squeezes by Chase Mattioli. Absolutely nowhere to go.
Goes Denny Hamlin down pit road. What a mess.
So out in front of this field, it's Casey Kane, Elliott Sadler being scored 2nd. Eric Almirola has moved up to 3rd. Justin Lofton in 4th. Mike Skinner is 5th. After talking about how he didn't think he had a very good truck today.
Well, even Matt Crafton, well, he's been back there in the, outside the top 10. Here he is running in the 6th spot. And certainly the 51 truck of Almirola, he wants to have a great day, a big points day.
If Todd falters, Almirola's right there to try to pounce.
Hornaday's in 7th. He wants a big points day. David
Starr, Austin Dillon dropped back to the 9th position after being up there battling for 2nd.
But right now our points leader, Todd Bodine, he's back here in the 17th spot with tires. So I'm pretty sure he's going to get by a few more of these cars, and that's going to narrow that points gain down quite a bit.
As they're running on the racetrack, Bodine now with just a 129-point lead over Eric Almirola. Johnny Sauter still holding on to that 3rd position, as is Hornaday in 4th. 183 points back.
I'm sorry, Phil, go ahead.
Remember, Hornaday came in this race 212 points behind, so that if the race were to end right now, that would be a gain of about another 30 points. That would be over 80 points that Ron Hornaday has gained the last 2 weeks. But it's not over yet.
When you get that far ahead, though, in the points, 177 on 2nd and 212 on Hornaday and those guys, you about got to fall out of the race to make a big dent in that.
Denny Hamlin back on pit road. A lot of damage to the right side of that truck, Ray.
And Rick, you remember it was back on lap 27 when they pitted the first time. He came in 3rd but went out 6th. Part of the reason for that was because of that big wedge adjustment they made, and he said that made this truck great. They were really hoping to have a big day today for Digital Coupons, which is a brand new company that'll be launching this week. They're going to put right sides on this thing, pull the fenders out, and send them back. But the problem is so few laps left in this race. Very doubtful that Denny Hamlin can get back to the front. Adam?
And Ray, another Toyota we will keep our eye on when the green flag goes back in the air would be the leader, Casey Kane. He has not been overly excited about his race truck early in a run in this race, but it's gotten better and better as the run continued. In fact, that's what he said just prior to taking the lead a handful of laps ago. We'll see how it reacts on a restart coming up here that will likely decide the winner of this race.
Take a look at our summer stretch. Nashville coming up next. Darlington, Chicago, Kentucky. What about that little race in Bristol we've got coming up?
Yeah, huge weekend. Well, huge week we really have in Bristol. We're going to kick it off on Monday. Dave Despain's going to be on assignment in Bristol. And then we're going to have the Whelen Modified Series on speed on Wednesday night, preceding our truck race from Bristol on Wednesday night. Well, what a great week that's going to be in Bristol, Darrell.
And I think by the time you get to Kentucky, you're going to hear a lot of things about the Kentucky Speedway.
Well, we always know that you had a hand in Kentucky because we see your
All
bronze.
I can tell you is, Rick, I'm from Kentucky. I've loved that racetrack from its inception. Whatever happens there could be like a dream come true for a lot of people.
There's a statue of you at that racetrack.
Yeah, they're going to take
bronze,
it. They're going to take it down, though.
Are they?
And give it to me.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
Now, what are you going to do with a statue of yourself?
I just take it home and put it in the front yard.
Stevie, I'm home all the time.
How about a green-white checker finish here for our first race ever?
First ever green-white checker here.
Imagine that.
History is being set once again.
It is being made once again. It'll be another green-white checker. Now, who is the favorite in this situation? We've got Casey Kane and Elliott Sadler on the front row.
Well, you know, the 51 Almirola, he's got some experience. And you look at Lufton there, he's sitting there behind Elliott Sadler. Will he be savvy enough to get up there and give Sadler that push that he was getting on that last restart? So I think who's running in the 3rd and 4th spots could be the key to who wins this race.
If these guys go through the corner, turn 1, side by side, Casey Kane and Elliott Sadler, that's going to give an incredible run. As we just saw Casey Kane get that run, it's going to give a run to Eric Almirola and some of those other guys.
Look who's sitting back here, though, in 5th, 6th, 7th. You got the 5 of Skinner, the 88 of Crafton, and the 33 of Hornaday. They'll go 3 wide anywhere.
Anytime, anywhere.
Anytime.
Remember, David Starr has a few laps less on his tires than these other guys do, and he's in 8th.
Well, Saturday, August 14th, be at Darlington Raceway when the tough trucks of NASCAR take on the track Too Tough to Tame. Purchase a specially priced Speed Open Garage ticket package and go inside the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series garage. Visit speed.com, keyword promo to purchase your Speed Open Garage ticket package today.
You know, the last time we were at Darlington, who won that truck race?
That would have been Casey Kane.
Yeah, the guy right there in that 18 truck.
And again, Casey Kane trying to make it a perfect record at every racetrack he's gone.
Nobody else has ever won their first 2 starts. Casey's done that. He could make this record that no one will ever achieve.
And you got the 18 over here with Rick Wren. And where was Rick Wren last year?
Well, he was with that 33 team.
Yeah, with that 33 team.
Who was his champion, I believe. Kevin Harvick and Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Here they come. Green flag back out for our green-white checkered from
Man,
Pocono.
that's a drag race right there. Look at that.
Look at the run for the 51. Look at the run.
I'm telling you.
The 18 drops back.
Laughlin is doing
Laughlin.
exactly what I didn't know if he had the savvy to do, but he's doing it.
He pushed the 2 out front. Now they go through turn number 1. They're 3 wide. Can Eric Almirola hold it down on the bottom of the racetrack?
Oh, Hornaday got some contact and got loose. Several trucks getting by him.
3 and 4 wide down Long Pond straightaway, all chasing the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
And I tell you, a guy that's tucked in there, that's the 30 truck, is right up in the middle of that wad right there, and he's coming forward.
3 wide through the tunnel.
And Hornaday sideways in the tunnel turn.
All behind, you got it.
Nobody hits him as he slides into the grass, and he makes contact with the inside wall.
Caution out.
We will try it again. Hornaday. Extensive damage to that truck.
Looked like he got some contact from the 13 of Johnny Sauter.
Started in turn 1, didn't it, Phil?
Yeah.
I mean, when he got in a little bit of trouble down there, lost some spots.
He had some contact over in turn number 1. He lost several positions. By the time they got to the tunnel, they were 2 and 3 wide there.
Hornaday obviously will make his way to pit road if he can get to pit road. We have 27 trucks on the lead lap.
Oh, that truck's done.
So this could be a 28th place finish for Ron Hornaday today. Something that he just could not have happen at this time in the season.
And Todd Bordine's up to 11th now. So this is working out all right for Todd for sure.
Here we are, 3 wide. Hornaday's on the outside.
He's on the outside. The 13 of Johnny Sauter gets a little bit loose. Has to chase it up the hill just to that little bit. Made that contact with the left rear quarter of the 33.
Do you see the 30 slip by again? All that right behind him.
Yeah, and Ricky Carmichael,
this
who's
is
normally
turn 1.
caught up.
Darrell, this is what we were talking about. Ron had some contact from somebody. Watch all these other trucks go by him. Now he was running up in the top 5 or 6. Now he's all the way back to about 10th, and then they go through this corner 3 wide. Looks like maybe there was a little contact between Timothy Peters and the 13 of Johnny Sauter. That forced Johnny up a little bit. He got a little bit loose and caught Ron.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the 30 truck didn't get into the back of the 13 and push him up there just a little wee bit. Let's see what happens back here, Phil. This is where it really kind of started.
Looks like the 33 and the 81 make a little contact. That's what caused Ron his momentum. Let's see if we can carry this down to turn number 2 and see if there's some contact maybe with the 30 and the 13 going in this corner. There's a 30 of Todd Bodine, middle of your screen.
Right there.
There may have been a little contact, although the 13 was very, very close to the 17 on the inside as well. These guys do a terrific job avoiding Ron Hornaday as he spins through the traffic.
Looked like a bunch of bowling pins to me. Yeah. Everybody was bouncing off of somebody.
There was the contact, got the 33 sideways. And then amazingly enough, everyone able to avoid Ron as he cut across the track. Hornaday's truck being pushed back behind the wall. It looks like the 4 team helping him out. Adam?
And I know it's hard for Ron Hornaday driving the truck through traffic to understand exactly what happened, but he did voice his displeasure on the radio with a 13 of Johnny Sauter. And as you saw, the result, a banged up race truck heading to the Camping World Truck Series garage. The win last week at ORP, not bringing Hornaday any luck here this afternoon at Pocono.
Well, now let's see. The 13 and the 33, they've never had any issues.
There's no history there, right?
There's not really.
Well, let's think back Martinsville. I think Hornaday turned the 13, and then in Kansas, Hornaday got into the 13. They were sideways together going through 3 and 4, straightened it back out, and they ended up 1 and 2. Just Sauter got that win.
I've forgotten all about that.
There has been a little history beside both of those trucks.
There's Johnny right there. See, the last 3 races, 2nd and 3rd and 4th.
Jennifer Jo Cobb is going to be the Aaron's Lucky Dog recipient and get a lap back. She was 3 laps down to the field, so that will put her at 2 laps down, but that will then put her in front of Ron Hornaday. So Hornaday will drop from 27th to 28th here at Pocono. A great crowd, and they're getting ready to see the second green-white checker for the Camping World Truck Series. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Pocono Mountains 125 as we're getting ready for our second green-white checker for the Camping World Truck Series at this track.
DW, remember you were talking about whether the 7 of Justin Laughlin had enough experience on that restart. Watch this now. He's right behind the 2 of Elliott Sadler. They're on the outside. You've got Casey Kane, the 81, or 18 in the 51 of Eric Almirola. Eric decides to make it 3 wide, and watch that 7 truck of Justin Lofton. Did he do perfect or what?
That's bump drafting at its finest. Nice job, number 7.
And if you just turn your TV over to speed, this happened the very next turn right here. There's Ron Hornaday, the 33 on the outside, the 13 of Johnny Sauter in the middle. Johnny's going to get squeezed a little bit, got loose, made contact with Hornaday. Everyone does a great job. There's Top O'Dina, point leader going by. Ron spins through the field, but makes hard contact with the inside wall.
There wasn't a whole lot Hornaday could do about it, but he's 3 wide on the outside going over the tunnel at Pocono. Make a note of that.
Might not have been the best choice.
Can't do it.
Pace truck makes its way off of the racing track, and that means that we have our second attempt at a green-white checkered. Green flag back in the air. Elliott Sadler with a great restart, jumps in front of the 7, and now the 88 to the outside, battling for second.
Crafton took advantage of that big draft to move to the inside. Almirola's coming with him.
Elliott Sadler dives into turn number 1. Here comes the 88 to the inside.
88 hit those bumps. It cost him a little. Had to check up just a teeny bit, but he's going to come out looking pretty good here. But the 18, whoa.
Great run for Casey Kane in the 18. He was just behind the 2. Elliott Sadler said, I'm not going to give you a draft.
Boy,
moved over in front of the 88.
That was actually a really smart move on Elliott's part.
Keep him side by side behind you here.
Oh, he's loving that as he looks back. And, of course, the short chute, it's hard to – the 18's going to be able to clear the 88, I think.
88's going to dive all the way to the bottom.
He's going to have to do a slide job, and that could be dangerous.
They're battling for second, coming out of turn number 3. Elliott Sadler would love to see the white flag and get across the stripe. One lap to go for Elliott Sadler, looking for his first win in the Camping World Truck Series.
That means the next flag is going to end this race, whether it's the checker or the caution, side by side for second.
I don't see anybody catching that 2 truck from here.
Mike Skinner trying to make this an interesting battle for that second spot as he was looking down below the 88 of Matt Crafton. But now Crafton holding on to the 3rd spot. It's Casey Kane in second.
When those 2 trucks with the 18 and the 88 got side by side just for a lap or so, that allowed Elliott Sadler in the 2 truck to drive off and leave these guys. Kane's going to make a great run at him, but I just don't think he's got enough to get there.
Through the tunnel turn. One more turn to go for Elliott Sadler. Elliott Sadler, another driver looking to complete the triple. He's got a win in the Cup Series, a win in the Nationwide Series, but he's looking for the first win in the Camping World Truck Series. Elliott Sadler is going to win the first race at Pocono for the trucks.
Look at these trucks, 3 and 4 wide up in the top 10.
All right!
That's fun.
What a great run for Elliott Sadler, that entire KHI team. GT Vodka, you know that's Greg Sachs' company, him and his sons, GT Vodka.
I know, I heard that when we were in Daytona back in July on the Nationwide race.
That's Greg right there, jumped up to congratulate Butch Hilton, the crew chief.
You deserved it, buddy. That was a great run, man. Thank you, buddy.
What better way to bring a sponsor into the series than win the pole and win the race?
There's probably not a guy out there that needed a win any worse than Elliott Sadler. It's so huge for him right now.
And we saw Elliott Sadler holding his baby just before the start of this race. Let's go trackside to Adam Alexander.
Rick, this team no stranger to success. The 2 truck has been to victory lane many times, never with Elliott Sadler. Butch Hilton, the crew chief, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I want to thank GT Vodka, Kevin and Delana Harvick. They give us everything it takes. All the guys at the shop, they work so hard. How about Elliott Sadler? He drove the wheels off that thing today. We've been really close with him this year, and we wanted to do that for him. That puts him in an exclusive club where he's won in all 3 series. Man, what a great drive today.
Butch didn't have to work hard on it today, but the adjustments he made were perfect, and he's gone to victory lane.
It's the 31st win for Kevin Harvick Incorporated and the 5th of 2010. And oh, by the way, 3 different drivers going to victory lane for Kevin Harvick Incorporated at the last 3 races. Kevin, then Ron, and now Elliott Sadler is going to make his way to victory lane, but not before a little celebration at the start-finish line.
Yeah, give me a dozen.
Beautiful day for Elliott Sadler. Pretty impressive little donut there.
Got that right.
Up against that chip, wasn't he?
Left a little something there to remember him by for tomorrow.
Oh, what a day. What a weekend it's been for Elliott Sadler. Just off of the truck yesterday. off the hauler. They were able to post the fastest time in the first practice. They were able to back that up in qualifying earlier today, winning his first ever pole. And now he makes his first trip to victory lane in the Camping World Truck Series.
I believe this is what won this race for Elliott Sadler, though. Right here, the 18's got a great run on Elliott. Casey Kane's going to catch him right here. About that time, Elliott looks back and he says, whoa, let me pull over here in front of Matt Kraft and pick him up, get them side by side. See ya. That was a winning move right there.
That's experience right there.
Experience.
What an experience it has been for the Camping World Truck Series to make their inaugural visit to Pocono Raceway.
Hey, and Casey Kane is no longer perfect.
He was pretty darn close. Casey Kane finished second in this one. Not a bad average in 3 races.
Pretty good average.
We'll be back to hear from our winner. Stay with us. Our Camping World Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by Camping World. The Camping World Destination Recreation Sweepstakes is back and better than ever. Camping World is offering more prizes and more chances to win. Visit campingworld.com and enter. And by Damp Rid, because the key to mold control is moisture control. Control them both with Damp Rid. And by Toyota. Welcome back to Pocono, and let's head straight to victory lane. And Elliott Sadler's about to jump out of the truck.
Kevin Harvick Incorporated has been on a roll of late. 2 weeks ago at St. Louis, it was the boss, Kevin Harvick, who won. Last week at ORP, Ron Hornaday went to victory lane. And today, Elliott Sadler making history at Pocono. Welcome back to victory lane. How does it feel?
It feels great. I told these guys the last lap, man, it's pretty much I had tears in my eyes. And, you know, it's been such a tough couple of years to be able to get this opportunity from Kevin and Delana Harvick. Got GT Vodka on the truck today, Greg Sachs and his guys. First career pole for them, first career win. Thanks to Coca-Cola, Aria Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, and especially the fans. We had a ton of fans show up here today, and man, it's very special to me.
We knew that Casey Kane was going to be difficult, and it looked like you racing with him down the back straightaway late, and some of your experience really paid off here.
Yeah, you know, Casey races me so clean. He's the best teammate in the world to have. And he was good on the bottom, and I was better on the outside. And when we had that last restart, it just worked out for us. But I knew he was going to be the guy to beat, and he caught us at the end of the first run, and we made a few adjustments. And can't thank Butch and these guys enough. You don't know what this means to me. I slept, my wife and I, we slept about an hour last night because I knew we had a truck to win, and I didn't want to mess it up.
I'm glad it worked out. Congratulations, and your biggest fans here to celebrate with you.
Thank you so much.
Elliott Sadler, an emotional win at Pocono on a history-making day.
Well, we knew it was going to be a sprint race and lots of action. How was it from behind the wheel of the 18 truck?
It was really good. I mean, when there's a few cars up front, at one point when Denny was leading, I think it was just the draft was so big. It was a ton of fun racing this Toyota truck for Kyle, and a really good team. I just kind of got, it's like if you don't draft and pull out, then you lose ground to the leaders, and that's what happened. So we should have been battling Elliott. I had the best truck, and I didn't win the race. So I'm a little disappointed in myself for that, but it was just kind of circumstances.
Well, it's not always good to get, not always possible to get 3 for 3, but I guess 2 wins in a second's not terrible, right?
It's not bad. You know, I'd have loved to win again, but at least we had a shot. At least we were there. This team does a really nice job, and thank everybody that's part of it, part of Kyle Busch Motorsports.
All right, Casey Kane finishes second today at Pocono.
And a tough day for Todd Bodine, but not as bad as one would expect. Todd Bodine has problems, but doesn't lose a lot of ground to Eric Almirola, Johnny Sauter. Timothy Peters moves up to 4th, and guess who drops all the way down to 7th?
Yeah, the big loser, Ron Hornaday, unfortunately drops 3 spots, but more importantly, 268 points behind now, DW.
Yeah, that's well over a race, and man, it's going to be hard to make up.
13th race of the 2010 season. And Elliott Sadler is doing donuts at the start-finish line, claiming his first win in the Camping World Truck Series. Truck's first visit to Pocono Raceway, and it goes overtime. We actually had 55 laps. 50 were scheduled. We went a few extra, but the fans didn't mind at all, as it was a great race. Elliott Sadler claims his first win in the Camping World Truck Series. A guy who finished 3rd and was in the points a year ago ended up with Ray Dunlap.
Well, at the beginning of the day, I said, where is ThorSport? You started 18th and made a heck of a run. How'd you do it?
I just kept working. I just kept working on myself. This place, I'd never seen the place before, and yesterday was my first time ever seeing the place. So just watching it on TV and seeing what I can learn there. But throughout the race, I just kept learning so much. We started off pretty free. They just kept working on this thing. I can't thank these guys enough. Had a really good pit stop. I picked up a couple there, and then I lost them on the restart, and I owed it to them on the last two. I had to bonsai and see what I could come out, and we threw a Hail Mary, and we had a shot at them at least. These guys have a ton of laps here. These two great race car drivers in front of us, and got a ton of laps. So, and all in all, not a bad day for the Menards Tide Chevy.
All right, good comeback for Matt Crafton today.
Justin Laughlin has been around great in recent weeks. The unfortunate thing has been the luck. Today you had a few breaks go your way. Congratulations on a top 5.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really proud of everyone on the number 7 Red Horse Racing Toyota Tundra. They put a great truck on the racetrack. The minute we unloaded here, it was like I really don't know how to make this thing go any faster. And Mark, found a way to tweak it here and do a little there. And we picked up some speed, qualified great, qualified inside the top 8, and ran great all day long. And the cool thing about this racetrack is it's so long that you can go from 5th to 10th and back to 5th in one lap. So it's almost restrictor plate racing on a really intermediate track. So really glad Pocono had us here, and just having a great time now, and hopefully we can keep this streak going for the rest of the year.
Nice run. We'll see you at Nashville.
Thank you.
Take a look at our unofficial results. Elliott Sadler, Casey Kane, 1 and 2. Matt Crafton snuck up there into 3rd.
Yeah, I can't believe some of these guys, like Mike Skinner, he got up there at the end, and certainly, Timothy Peters had trouble on the opening lap.
What about Denny Hamlin with a crash truck, ends up with a 9th place finish?
Todd Bodine, he works his way back up to 12th place. I thought he would have got up a little further than that, but he salvaged a lot of points today.
Ricky Carmichael avoided the 33 of Ron Hornaday and was able to muster a 19th place finish.
And there's Ron Hornaday back in the 29th spot.
Not what he was looking for.
Going to find himself 268 points behind right now.
What an amazing weekend for the Camping World Truck Series coming to Pocono Raceway.
I think Justin Laughlin just said it best. I really hope they have us back. And I have seen nothing this weekend to say that what a great addition this is to this racetrack.
They will be welcome back here with open arms. I guarantee you.
Next stop for the trucks is Nashville and the Nashville 200. That's a Saturday evening race, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. From Nashville Super Speedway. Coming up next, it's the ARCA 125 from right here at Pocono Raceway. An emotional Elliott Sadler claims his first win in the Camping World Truck Series in just his 8th start. Congratulations to Elliott Sadler.
Next week, the Camping World Truck Series will make its 2nd trip to the Music City as they visit the Nashville Super Speedway. Last April, Kyle Busch dominated and won the first race for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Will KBM have a new hit in Nashville, or will they be singing the blues? Chris Devoda hosts the setup starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by flag-to-flag coverage. Only on Speed.